And welcome to Business Jump. Please bear with me because this is my first recorded tutorial, so I'm popping my cherry, so to speak, which is a lame funny because my name is Cherrie. Thanks for joining us. Natasha, Belinda and I are so happy to welcome you to our team, and we look forward to working with you. So this is our onboarding session. This is where we introduce you to our business and the systems that we have in place to complete our projects. So firstly, what I'd like to do is introduce you to Business Jump and just tell you what we're all about. Okay, so Business Jump was created by Natasha Stewart, and basically Business Jump's vision is to help mums start online businesses, and we have a number of avenues in which we do this. Firstly, we sell customized new business packages, and that's where we work with clients to build a business concept, and we grow up from that concept into a business that they can start growing straight away. We also sell ready-made businesses, and that's where we come up with the concept and we sell that concept. And this is perfect for the client who wants to start a business but doesn't know what to do. So we suggest a business that they can run, and then we build it for them. We also provide resources like our ebook, the Income Strategies ebook, and the Create It Like a Pro course, and that helps clients learn how to build their own website or their own business and how to create additional income streams and create passive incomes. Okay, so before we dive into it, I just want to outline with you the scope of the duties that you will have as a website designer. Okay, so when a customer purchases a site, this is what they receive. Okay, so we provide conceptualization, which is where we give them guidance and our advice on building their business, from the concept, what income module to apply, so whether they want to go wholesale, dropship, start a directory. We help them choose a business name and domain name, and we help them with their branding, and we provide the graphic design for that branding. Okay, with the conceptualization, this is something that you may or may not be involved in. Sometimes where we have a custom job, we may ask you for ideas for the business concept and get you involved in it. And that's great because you can then have a vision for how you want the website to look. And Belinda and Nat liaise with the client. Okay, from there, we provide them with the foundation for the business, and these are the tasks that you'll be provided with. So we provide them with a fully set up e-commerce WordPress website. We have their admin panel for them to upload, delete, edit content and products. We provide basic SEO optimization with keyword research and structure. We provide them with social media links, automatic backups, newsletter opt-ins to collect emails. We provide them with legal docs, logo, files, images and branding assets, keyword reports for SEO targeting and traffic building. We set up their accounts, which are listed there. We provide 3 blogs geared for SEO, and we have a Facebook page provided to them with 3 posts. Okay, so with those items, you won't worry about the logo, files, images and branding assets. They'll be provided to you and will form part of the business file. And the legal docs are documents that we will provide to give to you for the client. Okay. Just moving down, you'll also see that we also provide them with a Freedom and Profit kit. So that's a number of templates and videos and blueprints that help them build their business. And those documents will also be provided to you so that it's included with all the files to be given to the client. Okay, so from there, we are going to have a look at how we communicate with our team. Okay, so we do most of our communication through the Facebook site, the BJ Co admin closed group. You've been added to that group already, and this is our primary method for team communication. Here we discuss our issues, we keep up to date with projects, and we chat to each other. So just in the pinned post here, you'll see that there is some details from Nat outlining a number of quick links that you needn't be concerned about. Our hosting is now with SiteGround and not Bluehost. There's a number of image libraries that you'll find that you might find helpful. And if you can just pop over to the contractor agreement document, which you will find in the files section. Okay, and just have a read of that. So that way you know what's expected of you and the scope of your duties. Okay, so when we're communicating in this group, we just ask that you start your new project on a new thread. So if you're allocated a project, add the logo into your post, and then do a hashtag and then name it your business name. So at the moment I'm working on Southwest Sydney Mums, so I would add the logo and then I put hashtag SWS Mums. And what that will do is it'll keep all posts, what we want to do is keep all posts that are related to that project on that thread. Just makes it easier for you to find information and refer to it within the group. Okay, so tag someone if you require attention. Belinda and I are usually quite quick at replying, so if you don't get a response within a few hours, tag us again or PM us. We're always open to chatting with you on Facebook to help you move your project forward. That post will then become an easy reference point for you, as you might end up with important information on that post. Things like hex codes, fonts, details of pricing, and that sort of thing. Okay, so you'll see that Business Jump is a team of 16 members. Natasha Stewart is the owner of Business Jump. Belinda Owen is the project coordinator, and she's responsible for things like liaising with the clients. She keeps the projects on track by maintaining our task management system, Asana, and she's responsible for project allocations and keeping them on track. Basically, she is Natasha's second, and she just keeps everything flowing. Okay, I'm Cherrie, I'm your team coordinator. So my role is to help you guys with your issues and to help you with your training and development. Okay, so basically that's it for what's involved with the Facebook group. You can use it to ask any questions and find out information. It's just a hub for us to communicate and keep in touch with each other. Okay, so from there I'm going to take you to the Google Drive where we keep all our files. I've put an easy link in the Facebook group, so you can click on that and it will take you to our Google Drive. Okay, so in the Google Drive, you'll find our businesses folder, which has a folder for each of our web designers. In your folder, you'll have a subfolder for each of your projects that you receive. So we'll just go into mine and you'll see that I've got 2 projects that are current. Southwest Sydney Mums, and Dreamable. Okay, so when a project is allocated to you, you'll have a folder named Logos and Images placed within it. And within that folder, you'll find the logos, images, and you'll find hopefully some hex codes and font details. Otherwise, you can just ask for that in the Facebook group. And you'll find our social media banners or images. Okay. You'll also find in there a document entitled Client Brief, and that has details of the business concept and the client's details. You'll also have a document called Passwords, and that's where you will store all the passwords for all the accounts that you set up. The first account that you set up will be a Gmail account, and you use this as the email address for all your other accounts. Okay, so what we ask you to do is try and keep the passwords the same or consistent to make it easy for the client and easy for you. So for example, if we've got swsmums@gmail.com, we try and keep the password as capital SWS mums 123 hashtag exclamation mark, or capital S capital W Sydney mums 123 exclamation mark exclamation mark. So if you use a variation, try and limit it to 2, but try and keep them within the consistent theme. Okay, so we use a capital, numbers, and a special character to meet password requirements on certain sites, and also to maintain a password strength, so it's difficult for hackers. Okay, so you'll see that we have listed a number of accounts for you to set up, including Instagram, MailChimp, Google, Gmail, that's related. Google Analytics is quite related. AdWords is related. Okay, Pinterest, Twitter, your website, dashboard details, your Facebook, Dropbox, WordPress, your hosting, email and account information, your Envato account if that's appropriate, and your PayPal account. Okay, so that shouldn't take you longer than 10 minutes to set up. Okay, so my tip for you is to have your logo downloaded, and you can add it as the profile pic on the accounts as you set them up, which will save you some time and effort. It saves you going back and trying to put it in later. Okay. And then within that group, this is where you'll save any documents that need to be provided to the client and any images, because this is the folder that we will hand over to the client upon completion of the project. Okay. Just going back to the businesses group. Okay, we've also got here the master folder, and here you'll find all the documentation that we provide to the client, and they're those added resources that are referred to: the Freedom and Profit Kit, the legal and tax invoice advice, that sort of thing. So when we start a project, we take a copy of those and we move it to our individual project files. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk to you about is the manuals file. Okay, at the moment we are working on updating this, and we will be doing that all the time as issues come up. It has instructions on how to do specific things such as PayPal setup, how to source suppliers. So please have a look in there and see what it's got in there, so that it may answer your questions and save you a bit of time. As we see issues coming up in the group, we'll try and address that by creating a tutorial and saving it in this location. Okay, the next thing we're going to look at is Asana, and this is our business management system, our online task management system, and it's relatively new to us. We've only just started using it. So everyone has been added to the Asana system with your email address, and you'll receive any notifications to that email address. Okay, as you're allocated a project, you'll be allocated a project task list in Asana. All the current projects are in the sidebar. So once you click on a business, you'll see the list of tasks that you need to complete. So let's just go into a project. This is my next task. Okay, and that's my current task, my current project. Okay, so some of the tasks may not need to be completed with you. Completed by you. Okay, so here you can see there's BJC. That's a reference that Belinda needs to do. So if the matter hasn't been assigned to her, you can assign it to her. Okay, so for example, this final payment received, that's a matter that Belinda will need to do. So you can click Assign Task, search for Belinda, and assign it to her. Okay, so this add all content, images and products, that's a matter that I need to do. So I'll just click on that and assign it to me. Okay, so once you work out which matters that Belinda has to do and assign them to her, the balance are going to be your tasks. So assign those all to you. That's going to be Belinda as well. So you can make sure that all the tasks have been allocated. Okay, and as you assign them to you, you're actually building your tasks list, which you can access by clicking on tasks. And there you can view your incomplete tasks, your tasks by project, your completed tasks, and the tasks by due date. So just going back into the project. Okay, so as you complete a task, mark it as complete by ticking one of the relevant little ticks on the side, and you'll see that it comes up with a message advising that it's complete. Okay, I know those matters have been completed, so I've just completed those. Okay, under conversations, you can have a conversation about that job. Calendar will have any time frames or timelines, and progress will show your progress on the file. So you will have usually a deadline date that is listed there, and it also shows you your progress in relation to your tasks. So it will show you the tasks that you have completed and the tasks that you have remaining. Okay, just on that deadline, we strive to provide the finalised website within 2 weeks from the time that it is allocated to you. So once the website is sufficiently completed, the final instalment will be requested from the client. Let's just go back to the list. Okay, so when you get to this point and you've done most of the building, you can see there is a task here that says when completed, show client for approval. Okay, so we like to try and get to that stage, as soon as we can, and then Belinda will provide the details of the site to the client, and they can have a look at it and request any revisions, and then they will seek the final payment. Okay, so once they have paid, we want to be in a position to hand over the business as soon as possible. And once the project is completed and provided to the client, you can then request payment for your project by creating and sending a PayPal tax invoice to nat78stewart@gmail.com, and we'll provide you with those details. Okay, so just keep on top of your tasks in your task list, and if you click on my inbox, you'll see notifications on the work that you are working on. Okay, so just one thing that I forgot to mention, you're not required to purchase anything for your website, so you should seek approval for any proposed purchases. What we try and do is use free stock images rather than paid images, but sometimes that's difficult, so just get in touch with Belinda, who takes care of purchases, if you need anything, but otherwise the hosting, the domain and the plugins are provided by Business Jump. Okay, so as of the 7th of September, I'm working on adding a few documents to the Google Drive, and that includes a checklist, which will be a cheat sheet of a few things to help you ensure your website's fully completed as at handover. A plugins list, that'll be added within the next day or so for use with your first project, and it will help you ensure that you have everything that you need to provide a fully rounded website. I'll try and put a list of the sites that you can visit for free stock images. There is that pinned post in the group, but there's a couple of other ones that are quite helpful. So I'll put a list in there just to help you guys get started. And I'm also going to add a list of past projects with the business names, the websites, and the themes. So I want you to treat that as a library for you to refer to, and you can review the websites for ideas on how you can build your websites. Just try and make everything your own though. So if you are looking at another site and it's quite similar to yours, try and make it a little bit different. Okay. So finally, I just have a few tips to get you started. When I'm working on Business Jump, I have a folder for all my Business Jump stuff. Each project gets a tab or a sleeve, and I put all my info behind it, which includes the font details, the hex color codes for reference, the client brief. I sometimes put the passwords list in there so for easy reference, so I don't have to jump into the Google Drive and grab it. I also like to draw up a mind map of how the site will be structured, and a wireframe of the first page. That's a mock-up template. It's just a plan of how I want to build that first page, because usually that's the one that I need the most creativity for. Okay. In my own Google Drive, I keep a copy of documents that I use for precedence. So, for example, the privacy page and terms and conditions, and I just keep adding to that certain things. And if I find something like how to do something or how to get it around an issue, I try and keep the details in there as well. I also use my Pinterest page to pin any relevant websites with issues that I come across while I'm building. So it's just building a catalogue of things that I can refer to and having them in places where I can easily access them. Okay, so how you structure and build your WordPress site is in your discretion. We ask that you keep it easy and that it has a good flow and that it's logical. Each website should feature an about page and a contact us page, a privacy page, and terms and conditions. My tip is to build the homepage last. I don't know if everybody does it that way, but that's what I do. And the reason that I do that is because the homepage is an overview of everything on your website. So I build the website, build the other pages, and then I grab things from those pages and connect it to the home page. Okay, so try and make the above the fold area, that's this area before you scroll down, that's this area here before you scroll down. Try and make that as visually pleasing as possible, because the potential customer will decide pretty quickly as to whether they want to stay on your website or not. So you want to make it inviting. You want to make it targeted to the audience. Okay. Another quick tip, any communications with your suppliers should be done via the business Gmail account. So if you do it from your own account, you'll need to forward them across, and that takes time and effort. So just do it straight from the Gmail account. Okay. Another thing, if you do have some downtime, if you're waiting on someone to do something, like if you need help with an issue and you're waiting on me, or say you're waiting on a logo to come back because it's gone back for redesign, or whatever, so something that is holding up you from doing other work, then try and use that time to complete other tasks. Like you can get a start on your blog, you can plan out your website, you can consider your blog categories, for example. That way you won't lose time and you can keep everything moving. Another quick tip is to set up your PayPal straight away at the beginning, because sometimes that has the potential of delaying and pushing out the time frame, because sometimes we have to wait for a client to provide us something, identification materials, or we might need to do a application to PayPal and we need to wait for their approval. So if you start that process at the very beginning, when you're setting up your user accounts, that will make sure that you can try and finish the site within the time frame. Okay, so the last tip I have for you, and I can't stress this one enough, is to place yourself in the position of the client. They are excited to start a new business, and they will want an exciting website to springboard their new venture. So it sounds cliche, but our websites require more than just a technical build. We want an injection of life and love, so that they're visually pleasing and they engage customers. Business Jump is a really good example. The target market is mums. Mums who are working around their families. So that picture there evokes, it talks to me as a mother. It evokes an emotion. I straight away think about, working, getting a business running so that I can stay at home with my family. That's what that picture says to me. So that's what we want to try and do. We want to have these websites engaging our customers, and we want to have our audience in mind when we're building the website. Okay, and we want it to look visually pleasing and balanced. You can have a look. This hasn't loaded properly, but you can have a look at how Nat has set up her site. See the drop bar came down. It's all got a nice flow. And it's a really beautiful website with beautiful images. My page just had my connection just hasn't loaded all the pages, but you can see that it's set up lovely, and that the bottom bar is all easy access, and it all has a a beautiful feel about it, and that's what we're looking for. Okay, because I'm sure all of you that are starting with us can build websites quite easily, but we just wanted that extra 1% that just makes it amazing. Okay. So I hope this has given you all the background that you need to get started, and and also so that you can have a lengthy working relationship with us at Business Jump Co. So if you have any questions, please feel free to comment on the onboarding post where this video has been linked. And welcome again, and happy business building. Thanks everyone.